Mr. Magicho, our politics is ethnic. Apart from the Gen Z and some members of the millennials, Kenya is largely a tribal hegemony where people vote for their tribesperson, for their tribeswoman, whether he or she qualifies or not. And therefore, you are not surprised when somebody is appointed as a cabinet secretary and people down there in the village celebrate whether or not this person is qualified. And when a person is fired, you see people are disenchanted. Rigathi Gachagua, as it is today, is down. This is a person who's been kicked, is on the ground. He's only trying to splash mud. He has no power as far as governance of this country is concerned. As I have said, unless his impeachment is quashed by the court, he cannot run for any elective position in this country. So whatever he says, I take it with a pinch of salt, because I think this is a bitter man. He does not also have any record of performance, so he's not a role model to anybody. Granted, he can express himself, he can talk as much as he can. The honorable thing the president needs to do, because the allegations that he is making are very wild, they are very weighty, and in some cases they are credible. I think the president should be the big brother. He should ignore Rigathi. He should even be allowed to go to the various worship places that he goes. He should be given security. He's been a deputy president. Let him worship as much as he can. Let him fraternize with the people in funerals. There is no reason why the president and the Ministry of Interior is sending goons, or is facilitating, or is ignoring his presence. So might say that his meetings are penetrated. And if these people are involved in causing violence, they should be arrested and taken to court. But I think for the sake of national tranquility, Rigathi, who does not have much to do now, should be given security in his functions. Let him go to worship services, let him go to funerals, let him go to social places, let him be given security. There is no reason why security should be withdrawn. He's been a deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. And I have said the president should not respond to what he's saying. The president should actually stop attending a lot of these functions. He should work in silence. Let us see him launching completed projects. We do not want to see the president commissioning projects which have not started, because there are so many projects across the country that have not been done. Because if he continues exchanging with Rigathi, who is in political hibernation, who is in a sinking political ship, would drag him to the same ship, and probably four of them would sink, because the battle between the two of them is a battle of attrition. It can finish the two of them, or at least one politically. Rigathi is down now, so if the president continues, he would also go down, which means the two of them would go down. I think what is very important for this country is a reconstitution of the IEBC, and working to ensure that we have an independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. Do you want me to say more on Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission? The truth of the matter is that Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission is a very sensitive commission. This is a commission that leads the country during the electioneering period. When the president has minimal powers under the constitution, the person who is in charge of the country, truly speaking, is the chair of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, together with the commissioners and the CEO. So it is a very sensitive commission because of what it does during the transition. It's also a very sensitive commission because this is the commission that is supposed to verify and ascertain the will of the people, right from the ward through the constituency to the national office. What needs to be done is we should be given an explanation by the selection panel on how the additional people made to the final shortlist, because questions have been raised. What really happened? I want to believe that there was a good reason why these people were shortlisted finally after the initial list had been done, because probably there was some court intervention, probably there was some review, and I think the law allows that. I've been involved in litigation before in the position of the CJ, where people who had been delisted for shortlisting, people who had not been shortlisted were added to the list. So I would want to imagine that these people would qualify and that the selection panel did their part. What I am afraid of, and this is the reality, is that Raila Amolo Odinga, the enigma, combined with President William Ruto, have a lot of sway on the selection panel. by operation of the law. The president appoints a number of people into the selection panel. Parliament, where the president also has some weight, and the opposition, where Raila Amolo Odinga features prominently, and of course maybe one person from the other political parties. That is to say, therefore, most people into the selection panel or their entry into the selection panel to either President William Ruto, Raila Amolo Odinga, or Parliament, which again is Raila Amolo Odinga or William Samoei Ruto. But when I look at the people who are there, I would expect them to be very objective and to be patriotic. What am I trying to say? How you constitute the selection panel has a lot of political undertones, but that does not necessarily mean we cannot get good people. It is not sufficient, Mangicho, however, to have commissioners who are credible, who are objective. There are more that needs to be done. Number one, you need to give Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission financial independence. As it is today, IEBC is owed billions of money. How do you get this money? You have to go and beg Parliament to approve payment of this money through a supplementary budget. When you do this, you may have to promise parliamentarians some money once the approval is done. This is not what we needed as a country, and this one is going to add the commission. It takes away financial independence of the IEBC. Once financial independence is taken away, there is no independence. There is something called operational independence. There should be commissioners at least 2 years to election so that they acquaint themselves to the commission, to the functions of the commission, the operations of the commission, and the landscape of this country. That is something that we need to do. Financial independence and operational independence, which have been lacking. So over and above having individuals, men and women of integrity, we also need to give this commission money in good time and have commissioners in place at least 2 years. I'm sure we are going to have them at least 2 years to the next election. But for the last 1 year and plus, we've not had commissioners in office. So what has IEBC been doing? It has largely been paying salaries and going to offices to do rudimentary functions and duties. I am very optimistic that the future of this country is extremely bright because of the Gen Zs. The Gen Zs do not consider themselves to be ethnic bigots or tribal chiefs or tribal representatives. The people who steal in this country do not steal for their tribes. They do not steal for their counties. They still build maisonettes for themselves in Karen, in Kitisuru, in Lavington, in Mombasa, in Dubai, and other places of the world. Unemployed Kenyans are in every village, regardless of who is the president, who is the cabinet secretary for Interior or Finance. What does it say, therefore? It means as a young generation, as the Gen Zs and the Alphas, we have ourselves to shape the future. We have a responsibility to put in place a system that observes merit, that is equitable, that is fair, that takes care of justice and ensures that those who are more qualified are given a chance. Those who are next qualified get the second chance, and those who are not qualified get their time. But when you have a system that is ethnic based, that is based on stolen money, then it is those who have more money, it is those who are closer to the billionaires who benefit, and those who are merited, those who are more qualified do not get a chance because most of the time they do not have money, regardless of their ethnic background, regardless of which counties they come from. We have unemployed youth across the country, in fact more even from areas which constitute and populate the government. And therefore I urge the Gen Zs to look at the problems that they have and know that the solution lies in the future, and the future is in their hands. Thank you very much. We have a great country. We have good resources. The problem we have in this country is the voter who votes an ethnic person, a tribal person, instead of voting for a person who is experienced, a person who is qualified, a person who is tried and tested, and a person who professes fairness, justice, equality, and equity. The future is very bright for all of us, and the future is in our hands.